Today on Twin Cam we are yet again doing bits and pieces on little Melvin here, and today it really is bits and pieces as we're going to do all those little tiny jobs that need doing on this car just to freshen him up a little bit. Today we have 7 jobs to get on with, and we're going to start with the interior, a place that I think Austin Rover did a really good job of updating when it came to the Mark III Metro. It is ostensibly all the same, but all the plastics are of a lighter colour to bring up the ambience. All the switches are slightly different, the dials are nicely surrounded with a rounded bit of plastic rather than all the straight edges of the Mark II. And it's all a little bit simpler as well. The instruments don't have the checkered pattern behind them. It's a bit more rovery than it was as a Mark II, which obviously makes perfect sense. I also love Melvin's particular interior. It's very basic. There's nothing really extra in here to speak of. We've got less switches on the dash. We've got the mad 90s Harlequin seat pattern, which is quite cool. No centre console or anything like that, so it is as basic as it gets. However, since the last time you saw this car, it has had 2 little upgrades. First and foremost is the period Rover stereo radio cassette. Well, I say period, it's not actually quite period for this car, but it's near enough. I think it's 1992, that cassette deck, so if you don't really know your Metros, you wouldn't know, and frankly, it's fine. So I have that because I listen to my music on cassettes because I'm a bit of a weirdo, and that is much more in keeping than the modern head unit that this car used to have. So that's an improvement. And I also have a cigarette lighter, which means I can plug my phone in to charge it for using it as sat-nav and things like that. It also means I can plug in a little FM transmitter so I can listen to music from Spotify if I want to on that period cassette deck. So those 2 things were done off camera because I had a friend help me do it, and I don't know anything about electronics. Frankly, I think angry pixies jumping up and down wires is witchcraft. But the most noticeable thing in this car that kind of spoils the appearance of it is this steering wheel. Now, a couple of years ago, I put this steering wheel on because this is my favourite Austin Rover steering wheel. This little, I think it's 13 inches, 3-spoke design, is the best one that they ever did. And when I was a little kid and I wanted a Mini, the Mini in my head always had this style of steering wheel. So a couple of years ago I went and bought this. It was the only steering wheel of this type on eBay at the time, and it just so happens to have been from a Mark I MG Metro 1300. The trouble with it being from an MG Metro 1300 is that it is leather wrapped, it has red stitching, and it has an MG badge in the centre. This car obviously isn't an MG, and I'm not trying to make it an MG because, well, have you seen it? It's about as far from an MG as you could get it. So the first thing we're going to do is change this steering wheel. As will surprise absolutely nobody, I'm not putting the original factory steering wheel back on the car. The reason I got rid of that wheel in the first place is because it was a bit bulky and it was a bit too big as well for a car like this. It was clearly engineered to make the car feel more like a bigger Rover, and also to let little old dears drive it with no power steering. I don't need that, I'm not a little old dear. So instead, I've managed to find, not actually that long after I fitted this steering wheel, I managed to find this new old stock Austin Rover steering wheel, exactly the same style as the MG one we got here, but instead it is in grey, which is in better keeping with the interior of this car, and it's got the plastic rim rather than the leather wrapped rim on the MG one. So this steering wheel will fit in perfectly with the standard interior and will no longer stick out. So let's fit it. Unfortunately, here we bump into another problem, and it's exactly the same one that we had before, and that's the identity of the car the steering wheel came from. The old steering wheel obviously had an MG badge on it, which isn't in fitting with this car. And this new one has a Mini badge on it because it came from a Mini. In fact, I don't think any Metros had a steering wheel of this design in this colour, and so I think a Mini was the only place you could get it from. So I need to find a badge that is suitable, and fortunately, because of the shape for the badge cutout in the centre of this steering wheel centre that says Mini in it, I can very simply go and find one that says Metro. So all we need to do now is flick out this Mini centre and then stick this one in its place. The second thing we're going to address with the interior are pedal rubbers. Now, that may seem relatively minor compared to some of the bigger problems with this car, but anyway, they need doing, and I've had these new old stock pedal rubbers sat on the shelf for ages, so let's actually put them on. The final interior change we're going to be making today is, in my opinion, the most important of them all, because they're the one thing that people will instantly notice and bring up and will make the whole interior seem much more factory original. Now, before I show you them, they are brand new Rover floor mats. Now, since I bought Melvin, he's had some aftermarket universal half rubber, half fabric floor mats. And now for universal aftermarket units, they are really, really nice. They are of a very high quality, and they are actually period as well. So they don't look out of place, but they clearly aren't original because they don't fit properly. Confusingly, Melvin has genuine Rover rubber mats in the back. I don't know where his front set have gone, but he only has them in the back and has done since I bought him. So today, he is finally going to get genuine Rover rubber mats. Now, these aren't new old stock. They are used, but you can't really tell. It's as if they've just been removed from their packaging just to kind of take photos of them and stuff, because they are nearest, damn it, mint. So these will really, really bring the interior up. And the only thing I've done to them is go over them with Autoglim's vinyl and rubber care, which isn't the best thing to be going over rubber with because it does make it slightly slippery, but look at how black it is. So these will go in the car and they're going to look awesome. Our first exterior change still involves me sitting in the driver's seat because we need access to the inside of the doors. Now, at some point in the last year and a half or so, I've noticed that the passenger side door mirror is rattling like hell, to the point where it's so annoying that I can't roll down that window when driving along because it just gets so annoying. So I've actually gone and bought a new old stock mirror that was going cheap. Now, I could go and take off that mirror and try and fix it, but I had a look at it and thought, I'm probably going to break this. So I probably will go and have a look at it, but this was going cheap, genuine new old stock Rover, and so we're going to fit it. I think I might have mentioned in a video quite a long time ago now that it was originally the driver's door mirror that was rattling like hell, meaning I couldn't put down the driver's window. So my temporary solution was to switch mirrors. They're reversible anyway, so I just unscrewed the one on this side and put it on that side. So what I'm going to actually do here is not change that mirror. I'm going to take that mirror off and take it inside the house and maybe try and fix it, but just store it. And then I'm going to put this existing original mirror back on the passenger side and put the brand new one on the driver's side. Now, the reason I'm doing that is purely because I see the driver's side of the car more than I do the passenger side, and so I'll be able to see the brand new mirror in all its shininess. So our first step is actually to take off the driver's side mirror, the one that isn't rattling. Our final two jobs for today are around the rear end of Melvin, and the first one is, well, they're both purely aesthetic, but one is something that I've been meaning to add to this car ever since I got it, but just for some reason haven't. Now, as you can tell by the number plates, Melvin was originally sold by Epsom Rover, and so I've been meaning for a long time to get an Epsom Rover dealer sticker made up to replace this Metro Owners Club one that is there at the moment. Now, for some reason I didn't do that, but fortunately This is courtesy of a good friend of mine who, for Christmas, got me an Epsom Rover dealer sticker. So that's going to be just the best thing ever. So first thing we need to do is peel off this Metro Owners Club sticker, and I have some glass cleaner to clean it, ready for the new sticker to go on. Our second to last job today is one of the rear lamp clusters, because this brake lamp is slightly intermittent and it's not exactly safe to be driving around with a dodgy brake light. Now, it's not the bulb or the fitment of the bulb or the wiring or anything like that. It is the lamp cluster itself. The connections within it are not very good and can't be cleaned up well enough. So we're going to swap this lamp cluster out for, yet again, a new old stock one. So the beauty of having a Metro is that they're really popular, and so all the parts are still readily available. Rover was such a huge company at the time, or relatively big, that they produced loads of parts, and fortunately the parts supply, despite Rover having not existed for 16 years, is still quite healthy. Of course, that will change at some point, but for now, I can still go on the internet and buy something like this, new old stock. You can even tell it's a genuine Rover replacement because of the little hologram sticker there is there. You could actually tell back in the day whether a part was brand new or it was not brand new, sorry, whether it was original or it was replacement by those little stickers. So if you had a rear bumper with the sticker on and the rear lamps with the sticker on and maybe even a whole boot lid panel with the sticker inside it, you could tell the car's probably had a rear end crash and it's been replaced with genuine Rover parts. So even though it has had a crash, at least it's been replaced with genuine Rover bits. So let's get to taking this lamp off. Now in this video so far, we've sorted quite a few little issues with this car, and I think at the beginning of this video I said I was going to do 7 things, but then when I got around to the back of the car I said I was going to do 2 things at the back, leaving that now we should have one more thing to do. However, what I was going to do was fit some new badges, because I have here a new old stock Metro badge and a new old stock 1.1C badge. However, as I said with the lamp cluster we just put on, the part supply is really good with these cars. However, it's not always going to be. You know, once these new old stock supplies do dry up, you know, they're not going to exist anymore. So none of the stuff that I've taken off today is going to be thrown away, even though the likes of this lamp cluster doesn't work properly. So all these things will be kept, don't worry about that. But this boot lid needs respraying. It needs respraying properly. You can tell this badge needs changing because it's got overspray on it and it's been scratched a few times, stuff like that. I don't want to fit these badges because once they're fitted, they're fitted. If I take them off again, I will want to get another set of new old stock badges so that they sit right on the boot lid rather than having to put some other kind of adhesive to keep them on. So I was going to fit new badges, but now I'm not. I'm going to wait until this boot lid has been resprayed properly, because God knows it needs it, and then I can make the rear end of the car look right with these Metro badges. So that's actually it. 6 things we've done today, but I think 6 really useful things that make this car a lot nicer than it was before. So thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, then please do click like and subscribe to Twin Cam as well. I'm forever indebted to my wonderful Patreon supporters, so if you'd like to support me that way, then please do follow the link in the description. And I'll have more videos coming along soon.